This is the idea that I see everything as being perfect, whether I feel it in the moment like that or not. And, well, you can see afterwards how it was perfect or whatever. But most of the teachings and most of the seekers, most of the students start with the idea, most of the patients, most of the clients, with the idea that you need to fix something.
There's something wrong.
Something is wrong, yes. Exactly. And then the teachers, regardless if they are people or channeling messages or whatever, this is how you fix this. And while I enjoy most of these, or some of these ideas, I know one thing for sure. Life is perfect. And if I use this as the basis of everything I'm doing, I know this foundation, it's aligned with our essence. But then the question is, from this foundation, do we really need to do something? I mean, is there anything to do? And of course it is experience, and there's a purpose behind all that is happening. But it's so beautiful. Sorry?
Get used to it.
What did you say?
She's the most loving person I've ever met in my life.
Veronique?
It's captivating.
Thank you. It makes me laugh because it's really, 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 really beautiful.
I think it's really interesting as we've gone through Bashar and Abraham and
Oh, you have no idea what I've been
Seth
through.
it's amazing all
The path. Yeah.
and you know, I firsthand
Tomorrow,
healed by
Michael.
her in some way. But
Oh.
what's this breath thing? That's the new thing. That
Did you experience it?
Oh, I experienced it firsthand, and it just, quite frankly, you know, I'm talking to her, and I'm a bit
Non-centered.
off-center, knowing it's all unfolding perfectly, knowing that, I understand that, but it sure sucks when you understand it, but it's still feels like hell, and you're going, ah. And she says, I've been thinking about this. Please.
I've been thinking, basically, I guide you.
Yeah.
That, well, it's not like it's new, and
You can see what's going on. It's not the emotional reaction or charge that people are having, and you know everything's perfect. So you intuit that back to people how they can hear it. I mean, that's my experience with you.
yes.
It's like, oh, you're upset. Okay, that's fine. Why are you upset? Not really. It's not these circumstances. It's because you're not in alignment with what the truth of who you are is. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And why does it happen that we suffer? I mean, who we are, and as an empath, to realize who I am, I've been alone for a period of time, 10 years ago or so, when that awakening happened. And only then I could feel my essence. And my essence is love and is joy. But it's so close to who I am that I don't feel it most of the time. What I feel is what I receive, and what I perceive is the difference between who I am and what comes to me. So, in line with what you're saying, if you're not experiencing joy, you're not experiencing who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But then what? And why? Mostly. Is it something screwy with this or not?
Well, my
Well, it's not
enlightened
a real
moment
question.
was, it was easy to love, even when I was in a pissy mood. I knew I loved, but I didn't have joy. And so she differentiated that with me and brought joy to my attention. That was cool.
So I was on the why do we feel these differences? The pain, the suffering, and all of this. If it's not who we are, and life is perfect, that's the most used question actually. Then why the suffering, right? And it's such a beautiful design because we come here pure essence, different than the environment that we're born in. And our essence is different, but it can be a little bit different or way more different, depending on what's going on this environment. What's the bigger plan, so to speak? The seeds that come in are different, a little bit different, or more different. And the empaths are more different. That's why oftentimes they do suffer more. That's a different discussion that hopefully we'll do it in January. And the design is that we come here and during our childhood we construct this heavy coat. We take on this heavy coat of environment. Not only the body, the dirt, but the beliefs. And we get to know this environment from within. We get to know this environment by the reaction we have when we look through that filter of beliefs that we took on. Then we know it from within. And life, if you look outside, if you look at the leaves, if you look microscopic, or if you look at the in cosmos, you see the perfection, the precise perfection of everything. And there's not one thing that happens by chance. There is a beauty and a perfection and intelligence that is just amazing. And somehow people think that, well, everything is amazing, but my life sucks. Right?
At times, even I do.
And the thing is that life itself, and the event, and the perfect string of events that happen, that you can see the perfection in the hindsight, how Steve Jobs used to put it. It's perfect right now, and you don't have to wait for that hindsight, for that time to pass. Then why do we suffer? Because we are looking at what life brings to us, which is basically how I see it. I see life as a force, as my higher self that orchestrates and puts me in the perfect place, orchestrates all the events. And if I have a problem with life, or it seems that life has a problem with me, it's not a problem with my essence, it's a problem with my ego. And my ego, which is this heavy coat that I took on purpose, every time life goes against it, pokes a hole in it, and my essence shines through that coat. And with every belief that life helps me shatter, I transform the world. Each one of us transforms the world. Each one of us. Every person changes the environment by meeting of this higher self life with the taken on purpose set of beliefs. And in homeopathy, for instance, uh, I have treated very small children, like couple of days old, but even older children, you can see how the symbols of the disease they have. I don't even have to ask the child what's going on, because in the very early childhood, their diseases is a reflection of what's going on in their families. And the older they get, the more somewhat complicated that all of it is. It's just a balancing of something that is not who they are, but helps with poking through that so that the essence, the inner child, the who you are, shines more and more brightly, So it's perfect. And in all of this, we have this amazing, super tool that is with us from the very first breath to the very last breath, and is beyond the mind. Because every time you take a conscious, deep breath, and I invite you to take a deep. You're in the now. And you're in the perfection. And you're receiving. Just try and open up. Try and open up, Maria, those hands. And breathe in your belly. Try it. You don't know it until you try it like this. Just
Okay, now off your feet.
and you receive.
Oh, don't stop that. Sorry.
Receive the love that surrounds you. Oh yeah. There has the energy moving. Oh yes.
Wow, it's all the way down to my toes.
Yes, you can take it down and use your imagination and your inner vision to take it all the way deep through the vessel, through the coat, poking holes from within. The body is very much a representation to a degree of this coat that we took on. And oftentimes symbolizes what's going on in our interaction with life, with our higher self, in how aligned we are with our essence. And with the breath, we don't need to conceptualize a big deal about what and why. In doing this consistently and focusing, first being aware, breathing brings your awareness back to yourself and helps you assess. Do you feel any kind of resistance somewhere in your life? And then you can breathe through that. You can breathe in the love that you are, the life that you are, and allow align with that from within. And feed yourselves with your essence that you're breathing in. The cells of your body and the cells of your life. Align more and more with the essence of who you are. With the private sessions of Breath of Life, we're assessing and focusing on the person, on the client, what's going on right there and then, what's going on in the body, what's going on in the life, and the body symbolizes so much what's going on with us. And we breathe, we do this guided meditation of breathing and receiving and aligning with our own essence. And we planned on doing the joy factor, bringing in the joy, which is who you are, which is who we are, bringing in beyond the mind. And I love this part about it, because if you do this on your own or in my unconditional love space that I provide, or in a group setting, your experience about life gets aligned with life, and you experience who you are, you experience the joy. It's not that much that something is good or bad or whatever, the experience, how you feel after a teaching, after a session, after something you're doing, leaves you more aligned or not with your essence, but regardless, all of us are changing the world. One belief at a time, one poking at a time, expressing more and more of who we are here. And changing the world, you can see that. We are doing this. Right? I don't know what time it is.
Oh, I don't know. I was,
7:02.
Oh.
okay, I was impressed when you changed the paradigm within me, because I've heard this breathing thing before, of course. And beforehand, it was to hold it in and then let out all that stuff. And it seemed to work until it didn't. And she came up with something the other night that I'd never heard before, and it literally changed my life. In the last 2 weeks, I've been doing that and reminding myself of what I'm doing every time I exhale.
Yeah, you give the word with your gifts.
Yes. Instead of letting it go, the stuff, you're creating goodness.
You let
with
your
every breath.
essence expressing freely in the world.
You're letting who you really are come out to the world, and that's how changing the world really matters and happens. I love that. Gosh. Such a simple concept, and it just, I've never heard that before.
We've been doing all kinds of different things together in terms of
He's your guinea pig.
healing
Confess.
Gladly. When she introduced me to Reiki, I just from America, my 1 year had passed. I had an injection in my spinal cord because of arthritis in my neck. And the doctor said it'll last between 9 months and a year. I'm in Romania. I'm not going to let a Romanian doctor poke a needle into my neck without a sophisticated machine to see where that needle is that we have in America. So she said, I can do this. And she starts me on Reiki, and it's like I not only felt it healing, the pain totally vanished, and at times I had to stop her. To stop. The heels of my feet feel like they're burning off. It's just the energy was flowing through my body, through my feet to the earth. I said, I can't take it. I said, I really can't. This is enough.
When,
I know.
At some point, I mean,
She's yawning.
He came with the bump on his.
Yes, I had this
Yeah.
arthritic bump,
And
and
it's
it
not there anymore.
vanished.
Mm.
And I haven't, it's been 3 years now since I've had that shot. And there's no need for it at all. And I'm going, this stuff really works. So I took her course in Reiki. And
What's the lineage?
Oh, I cannot tell you right now.
Okay, tell me something.
I will tell you sometime, because it happened like over 10 years ago, and I'll get back to you on that. Yeah, it was before the internet and whatever, and I kind of lost contact with my master that initiated me. Actually.
but all of this stuff, I've seen her heal people long distance even. And I'm going, what? Even me, when I was over here and you were there, I could just feel that love and that contact and healing energy. She's got a real gift. She's a real empath, and I learned rather quickly that I can't really even think something negative or because she picks it up. And she says, I know what you're thinking. She really does. I go, I know you do.
do you get the tinfoil out?
Put the tinfoil out. I know you do. And at first I challenged her, and she, boom, 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 boom. Oh my gosh. And so I learned to be really quiet.
Oh, and you are.
Unless I'm not. You know, I'm a Leo. I roar occasionally.
So full of
Say energy.
surprises.
Yeah, but
The way you bring yourself in the center of your life, first of all, you decide you're in the center of your life. And I know you say, yes, but something happens that's outside of my control. And if you see this outside of your control stuff that is happening as an invitation for you, as a reminder that you need to bring yourself back home, you bring yourself back in your power. And you can do that even with the breathing. Breathing deeply and consciously. You cannot focus on that outside thing that seems treacherous to you and on the conscious breathing at the same time. The conscious breathing disconnects you from any perception of threat, because you're breathing in the life, the gift, the abundance of life, and brings you in the now when you're aware of it. You cannot be in any other place than here and now if you're breathing consciously. If you really focus on that, and that gives you power. Any other tool that you think might help, use use it with the idea that, first of all, the moment you change a little bit your perception about it, the situation stays the same. The way you perceive it can change, and that's completely up to you. And when you say, this is an opportunity for me, even though I don't know how, and I don't know why, and probably at some point I will realize how and why, this is a big opportunity for me. The worse you feel, the best you can say, this is a big opportunity for me, because of the distance between yourself and how you see. It really is an opportunity. And this focuses you on yourself and gives power back to you. And this is a completely different vibration that you put out there in the flow of life. You know, it's empowering.
Isn't this a part of the things that you teach in private sessions?
Of course. Just know I love you.
Somebody loves me.
I really do love you, and I hope you feel it. And if you don't feel it, breathe it in.
It's funny, when I was hearing this, I'm thinking of a story of me driving in the rain. I have to focus really hard, and the kids are screaming in the back seat. And it's bothering me, and I just want them to stop. And I'm getting more and more tense. And all of a sudden, this thought comes over me of, oh, all I have to do is drive the car and ignore them. And all of a sudden, my ears just went like that. And it was the most amazing shift of just, I don't have to listen to that. Oh, okay. And that's kind of what I was hearing Cristina say. It's like, yes, you can have all of this chaos, trauma things come into your awareness at any point in time. And if you can just stop for a moment and go, okay, I'm noticing that's chaotic. That's not necessarily the truth of what it is. It just is feeling that way. Maybe I'll stop for a second. Oh, shut up, kids. Okay, now I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. That kind of thing.
Yeah. And the longer you breathe, the firmer you get in the perception. It's not that the life is the life. You can say with your ego perspective, you don't have control over it. But you do have complete control over your perception, and the perception can change your experience from suffering to joy. It really can. And if you need more than that, we can address that in private, really. And we were thinking of having the energy updates like once or twice per month, where basically what would happen instead of me talking, but because that wasn't the case, everyone will talk like now. With what's happening what do we feel about the earth plane or our personal lives, how that fits with other people's stories, what some amazing stuff you have to share, or what shit you have to share, or whatever, and how that feels.
So when you do this, do you end up balancing the energy of the group? I mean, one would make an assumption, we all share, blah, 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 but when we go away, we're feeling pretty damn good.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can kind of feel it now, can't you?
So are you facilitating the energy of the group to raise the vibration of the group, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah?
The way
do you
I see it, maybe I express it differently than you, because we didn't talk that much, but I know we feel kind of the same thing. What I see I'm doing in a energy update group setting is like I'm providing the safe space, so to speak, the unconditional love.
Are you using any tools with that?
We can if we want. Now depends very much on who's showing up,
Right.
what's discussed,
Right.
what's called upon, and it's like
But actually, it's what I'm asking. I mean, like, do you have your bag, and in your bag is flower essences or cards or, and you kind of use those as a tool
okay.
within the balancing process?
Well, along my experience, I came to realize, and I get many invitations, like being with his machine, invitations to use tools. And actually, we are the most accurate tool possible. The most accurate tool possible. Of course, I love aromatherapy. Of course, I love crystals. Of course, I love angel cards and all that stuff. But I don't need them in order to facilitate something. My very presence and intention sets that up. Like each one of us, like you. You can set your intention, ground that intention, and know only that. And you can do that. It's fun. Because then you'll laugh like I'm doing. Okay, so part of this plan for ascension didn't happen yet. Was for everyone? I have no idea. Do I need to have an idea? Well, I know we are a more than over-accelerated rate of expansion as mass consciousness, although we are on an over-accelerated receiving of the light. And although for some this might seem like the cosmic energies are flooding the planet Earth, it's us. It's us transforming this plane. That's why we're here. You, Veronique, that's why you're here. And there are some happy I don't know anything about this. And maybe they could say ascension didn't happen, and who cares? Probably it did. When I came here. Okay. And part of this evening plan was to introduce you to my lovely husband that you already got to know very well by now. And Michael and Michael. Michael Essence and Michael. And Michael's essence is the best felt in his songs. He writes and plays his songs, and is one of the most aligning and uplifting music I've ever heard. And I invite you to do this assessment. Feel how you feel now, or how you felt in the beginning, but feel how you feel now. And let me know what you feel after Michael sings.
Well, I say the same thing about when we started with you. I mean, I don't know about you. You feel this expanse? It just feels so good, so sweet and gentle and fulfilling. I almost feel like it'll be anticlimactical for me to sing a song.
Would you like us to turn the light down? I turn the overhead off.
Oh, I think that would be cool.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on, get up here.
Okay. Well,
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, now we got the mood. Who's got the brains?
well,
We're supposed to bring us.
this song just came to me. Matter of fact, I was so stunned, I told her, I said, I've never done this, I wrote the chorus first. And I said, this is the chorus, it is cool, but in a couple of days, the song's gonna come to me. And then that night, at 3 in the morning, I woke up and there it was, and I wrote it all down and playing my guitar. And this is a song about Portland, and it's kind of fun. It's a fun song. It isn't anything serious or enlightening. Believe me when you hear it. I gotta get it, find it. Oh, I'm gonna sing.
We're ready.
I'm gonna sing the original verse that we don't have in the song I'm recording. Riding across the country with the sunset. White came in from Bucharest, American dreams she cried. Meeting our friends along the way. We found our home here in Portland town, where the river flows down into the sea. We've rendezvoused with the lifestyle. It's been around for so many years. We've got the dream just like you. So let's keep Portland weird. Oh, let's keep Portland weird. Let me tell you about Portland and how they chose their name. The founders were from Boston, the other from Maine. Well, they flipped the coin 2 by 3 in the drizzle and rain. And that Portland penny, well, we got it on display. We got 300 kinds of coffee and 1,000 names for beer. Downtown so funky, and the Saturday market is here. Everything's on breaks and Chinatown too. Yeah, we can see for miles and miles up on Rocky View. We rendezvous with the lifestyle. It's been around for so many years. We got the dream just like you. So let's keep Portland weird. Well, let's keep Portland weird. Stumptown, Bottletown, beer and Tattletown. We love your food. The River City hipsters, they keep on making the bridge down. River City and Orlando, you got to see. Be careful that Nirvana, it can put you on your Rose City. We've rendezvoused with the lifestyle. It's been around for so many years. We got the dream just like you. So let's keep Portland weird. Oh, let's keep Portland weird. We found our home here in Portland.